And that's what makes the Denver Nuggets virtually unguardable offensively, because when your center leads the playoffs in assists, he's playing from the elbow, he's playing from the top of the key, which means it's open for cuts, it's open for duck-ins, for post-ups. And then in transition, when he gets the rebound, he's feeding Aaron Gordon. He's feeding Michael Porter Jr. And then the two-man game he has with Jamal Murray, that's what makes it virtually unguardable, because you can't switch a small guy on the Joker because he's going to punish you. So not only is he the best player in the game, he's the most versatile player in the game.
Does he need a championship to validate the greatness? He's a two-time MVP. We've talked about the numbers, but he most certainly is not a household name, I'm imagining, in a lot of ways, in the ways that players like LeBron James and Steph Curry have been. Nikola Jokic is the best basketball player in the world. What would you say?
I'd say, duh. It's very, very obvious. I mean, what is there to dispute? Right now, 29, 13, and 10, 54% shooting from the field, 47% shooting from three-point range at a big, slow as a snail, can't jump onto a curb, and nobody can stop him. There's nothing they can do with him. He's an elite passer. He's an elite scorer. He's got an elite touch, and he's doing things that only people like Wilt Chamberlain has done. Got 8 triple-doubles this postseason, eclipsing the 7 that Wilt Chamberlain had in 1967. 14 triple-doubles in his postseason career. Only LeBron James and Magic Johnson has done that. What is there to say? Duh, it can't be disputed right now.
Every comparison is to an all-time great. Every time they put up some graphic, Tim Duncan, Magic, Wilt, it's just, you're talking about people in the Hall, not just in the Hall of Fame, but at the top of the pyramid, people that might be on your Mount Rushmore.
Ball had to find Aaron Gordon. It did, and he made the Miami Heat pay. He was too big, too strong. They're going to really have to figure out that matchup, especially in the first quarter. He was dominant inside in the paint catches, playing the high-low game with Jokic, coast-to-coast drives. Aaron Gordon was the reason why the Denver Nuggets won this game tonight, because we always think that the NBA is a fourth-quarter league. Trust me, I played in the NBA 16 years, coached in the NBA for 10 or more years. It's also a first quarter in a first half league. And then also, you got to give the Denver Nuggets credit. Max Strus was what? A donut. He scored the same amount of points that I scored tonight. 0. He was 0 for 6 from 3. He was shooting blanks. They did a really nice job of defending the three-point line. And also, the Miami Heat only attempted 2 free throws tonight. Not one starter attempted a free throw. And the 2 guys, Strus and Caleb Martin, who was vital in the production and the success for the Miami Heat, they
keep going home with somebody else taking a trophy with them instead of you when you're that great, unless you're going to take some cynicism with it. It's hard to throw any cynicism in this direction considering the purity and the greatness of his game. But what's the fallback position? You ignore it. You bypass it, because guess what? You don't have the chip, somebody else does, and that's the issue.
There was 27 points, 10 rebounds, 14 assists. Jamal Murray, 26 points, 6 rebounds, 10 assists. And how about this fun fact? Jokic and Jamal joining Magic and James Worthy in 1987 as the only teammates with 25 points and 10 assists in an NBA Finals game. In 1987, the Lakers won the finals over the Celtics. The head coach of the Lakers was Pat Riley. Pat Riley now, of course, in the front office with the Miami Heat. And the Miami Heat find themselves down 0-1 in this series because they could just not get anything going. Started the fourth quarter on an 11-0 run, but Denver absorbed it, and they were able to hold serve in Game 1. But a great performance from Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray to set the tone in Game 1. Get some instant analysis. Welcome in former NBA Coach of the Year Avery Johnson. As a player, helped the Spurs win the NBA championship in 1999. Avery, Denver dominant.
Make as many threes as I thought tonight, probably because of some rust. But if Jimmy Butler's going to play the way he played tonight, passive, more of a passer, the Heat are in trouble.
Yeah, because Aaron Gordon had said coming into the NBA Finals that Jimmy Butler was arguably the toughest matchup that he had ever had to guard defensively. He knew what he was in for. He and the Nuggets keeping Jimmy Butler in check in this game, because you saw what Denver's able to do. Their pace, and then you're able to dictate the tempo. That's what they did. You saw that in the first quarter. Aaron Gordon scoring 12 points. They shot 59% from the floor in the first quarter, 60% for the first half. I want to keep you right there because you mentioned something that's going to come up over the next couple days. Miami with only 2 free throw attempts. What do you make of that?
Well, just too many bad threes. And, when you're taking and missing out there, just launching bad threes.
Be a sweep. How does Miami win a game in this series?
In that game. So I think he's got to put on blinders. Jimmy's got to come out and go for 40 in game 2 to give their team a chance to win. If he comes out with that type of mentality, he's going to require harder traps. And if you require harder traps and triple teams, then those three-point shooters, they're not going to have as many Denver Nuggets defenders closing out to them. They'll have more wide-open, point-blank threes instead of the contested threes that they attempted tonight.
Well, and I want to bring up a moment in the third quarter. Jamal Murray drives, kicks back to Nikola Jokic to beat the shot clock to make it a 71-55 game, and that was really representative of how they controlled this game. They were knocking down shots. They were getting the defense in a
times. Even my wife mentioned it. There were so many times in the post, Jimmy Butler was not even looking to score. He was just looking to kick the ball out to three-point shooters. And if he's not going to be a scoring threat, especially in the paint, you're not going to attempt many free throws. So we'll see what type of adjustments Eric Spoelstra makes. Remember now, this is the series, unlike the last series, when Eric Spoelstra was coaching against a rookie head coach in Joe Mazzulla, and then Coach Malone was coaching against a rookie head coach in Darvin Ham. Eric Spoelstra now is coaching against a veteran coach, and we'll see what type of adjustments he makes for game 2.
Does Cassandra think the Miami Heat have any chance in this series? Because I'm probably going to agree with whatever she says.
No, Miss Cassandra did not pick the Miami Heat to win this series. She thought they would do a little bit better in game 1. But and I'm
of it is just overused